Hi there, welcome back. You're still watching The Money Show with me, Snehi Shah. Now, there are a plethora of funds available in the market to invest your hard-earned money in. But how do you assess which is the right fund for your portfolio? What are the criteria that one should look at? Now, to help you navigate through this maze, we have with us on the show Hemant Rustagi of Wise Invest. Also, viewers, do not forget to send us your portfolio queries on our WhatsApp number 865-797-4571. Or remember, you can also email us your queries on the Money Show at etnow.tv. But well, let's get back to the show. And Hemant, thanks so much for taking the time out and joining us today. I'm going to start throwing all our viewer queries at you. I hope you're ready. And the first one is coming from Tanu from Jodhpur, and here is their current portfolio allocation: 7,000 rupees in Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, 8,000 in SBI Blue Chip, 4,000 rupees in Axis Blue Chip, and 4,000 in Nippon India Small Cap. They're planning to add another SIP of 7,000 rupees in a new fund for the next 15 years. Please review their portfolio and also suggest a good fund for the same.
Well, I think I would like to say that since the time horizon is 15 years, so investing in equity fund through SIP, I think it's a wonderful strategy because one, it allows you to build a corpus through whatever contribution you want to make over a period of time. And the biggest risk that most investors see in equity is the volatility. So when you are investing in a disciplined manner, you are investing at different market levels. So I think you are not only minimizing the impact of volatility, but also benefiting from it because you are investing at different levels. So I think in terms of strategy, I think whatever is being done is great. If I analyze the portfolio, there are 4 funds. I see a heavy bias towards the large cap. Now I can understand that everyone would like to have a slight bias towards the large cap, but ignoring an important segment like mid cap, because if you see the 4 funds, there is hardly an exposure to mid cap. So I think there is some amount of changes which will do a lot of good to the portfolio. So 2 funds can be continued here: Parag Parikh Flexi Cap Fund and Nippon India Small Cap Fund. The other 2 are basically the large cap funds. As I mentioned earlier, the mid cap is missing from the portfolio, practically missing from the portfolio. So I would recommend that exit from those 2 and include 2 large and mid cap funds in the portfolio. One could be Motilal Oswal large and mid cap, and the other could be Bandhan Core Equity Fund. Invest 6,000 each in these 2. And for the 7,000 that has to be invested now as fresh money at this point in time, I think a multi-cap fund would really add a lot of value because the fund invests in all 3 segments: large cap, mid cap and small cap, to a minimum of 25%. And for the 25, there is flexibility with the fund manager to decide where he would like to invest. There in that category, I would recommend Kotak multi-cap fund. So a couple of changes, but I think the key factor is to remain committed to the time horizon and continue this process over the next 15 years.
Hemant, thanks for that. Tanu, I hope that answers your query. Let's move on to the next query, and this is from our viewer Siddharth from Bangalore. Now, he is an NRI having 2 crore rupees for investment in a time horizon of 20 years. So he's requesting you to suggest some good funds for the same. What would your answer be to that?
I think the key factor here is the time horizon of 20 years. So when you're investing for such a long period, of course your intent, the portfolio composition should be such that you earn positive real rate of return, which is what equity can give you. So clearly the focus has to be on equity fund. The only issue is that he has a lump sum to invest, and we are at that point in time where we are waiting for what is going to happen in the general election. There can be, there is already volatility, there can be some volatility even after the election results are announced. So I think ideally he should wait for a couple of weeks to start the process. Second, since you are investing lump sum money at this point in time, I don't think it's a great idea to invest at one particular level. My recommendation would be to kind of invest through STP over the next 3 to 6 months. The benefit of that is not only it allows you to invest at different levels. If you see some kind of fall in the market, it gives you an opportunity to invest at even lower levels. So invest through STP over the next 3 to 6 months. Like I mentioned earlier, 20 years is a good enough time horizon for him to invest primarily in equity fund. So I'm recommending 5 funds to him where he can invest 20% each. So it will be one in large and mid cap, HDFC large and mid cap, one large cap, pure large cap fund, which is Nippon India large cap fund, one mid cap fund, which is Motilal Oswal mid cap fund, quant small cap fund, and one multi-cap fund which I mentioned earlier, Kotak multi-cap fund. So 5 funds in different categories. This will ensure that he has good exposure to all the 3 segments with the flexibility to the fund manager to rebalance it whenever it is required.
Alright Hemant, thanks for that. Siddharth, I hope that answers your query, and that was Hemant's take on Siddharth's portfolio and the plan ahead. Hemant, the next query for you is coming from Garima, who's from Gandhinagar, and she's 29 years old and she would like to invest a lump sum of 1.5 crore rupees in a low risk scheme. However, she has no idea where to invest. She has never invested in any other capital market except for fixed deposits. So could you please give her the best advice on which mutual fund to pick that has a high return but at the same time also a low risk, or any other investment schemes that you would recommend to her?
Well, I think as she has clarified that she's looking to get higher return, she obviously has been investing in maybe bank fixed deposits. So that's the reason why she is looking to invest in mutual funds. But I think we need to, she also mentioned that she has a low risk taking capacity, but I think we need to put risk in proper perspective. See, if you're investing for the long term, right, there are 2 kinds of risks that you take. One is the risk of obviously losing a part of your capital or the market volatility, which everyone is concerned about. But then one risk which often gets ignored by the investors is the risk of inflation. In my view, if Garima is looking to invest for the longer term, she should be focusing more on the risk of inflation. When you are investing for 10, 15 years maybe, the risk of losing capital, even in the equity fund, when you are investing over a longer period, I think it's not there. So if you need to beat inflation, you need to take some amount of risk. I think it's important as an investor to understand that whatever you want to achieve from your portfolio, that should reflect in the asset allocation in the portfolio that you have. So if you are looking for higher return, some amount of risk has to be taken. So either she can look at equity funds. If she is not comfortable with 100% equity, there are hybrid funds. There are categories like equity saving and the balance advantage, which have restricted exposure to equity, and the equity allocation is changed in line with what is the valuation level in the market, which I think is a great option. And both these categories actually enjoy the tax benefits of an equity fund, which means that if you take out money after 1 year, you only pay 10% capital gain. So I think a combination of hybrid and equity, we have discussed about some of the equity funds. In the other category, I can just recommend a couple of funds. In equity saving, Kotak equity saving can be seen, or SBI equity saving. Okay. In the balance advantage, ICICI Pru balance advantage or Kotak balance advantage. These are some of the funds in this category that one can do.
All right. Thanks so much, Hemant, for helping out our viewers with their queries today, and thanks for taking the time out and joining us on the Money Show. With that, we'll let you go. Viewers, that was Hemant Rustagi of Wise Invest. But I'm afraid with that, we're completely timed out on this edition of the Money Show. Remember, keep sending us your queries on WhatsApp or email. But for now, it's a goodbye from me and the team that put this show together. Thanks so much for watching.